Greetings and welcome back to TED Talks. If you're new here, you're most welcome. Thank you for watching. Please do give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and do subscribe to our channel, it would be much appreciated. Today we have got another Bowen's budget vehicle. We've done a few of these now and they seem to be going down quite well. And it doesn't always go like this where we get runs of getting these budget end vehicles in, but we have had another one arrive with us and I thought it would be only fair to it to give it a review, show you the outside, give it a drive and give it my professional verdict. So let's have a look. Here it is. Whoosh. Now this is a 2008 Toyota Auris. Now I don't know whether you say Auris, I don't really know. I've always called it an Auris. Maybe it's an Auris. Lots of people call it a Yaris, but it's not. It is a 2008 registered car. It has done just less than 58,000 miles from two owners. It has arrived with us this afternoon from a local couple who have been workshop customers for many years, as is the way with quite a lot of the cars that we have in, especially these more budget vehicles. They are going from two cars to the one car. This is having less and less and less use, and it was decided that it was now no longer worth keeping on the road. I'll go into the facts and figures shortly, and it'll become apparent then as to why the car is probably not economical to keep running if you're not really doing the mileage. Let's have a look at the condition. It's not tremendous. I always say this, it could be worse. It could be worse. We will start down here. So it's got a lot of very crude touch-ins. So, with no disrespect to my customers, but the sort of touch-ins that my 3-year-olds would sort of have a go at, really. So there's a few chips across the front, but obviously have all been touched in. There's a scuff here. Now this is the worst bit of damage on the car, really. There's a dent with a... I think that might... There's probably a couple of clips broken behind here. And then there's a little scratch here. So this wing definitely wants some attention. Wheels are in really good shape actually for a Toyota. They normally corrode quite badly, but it has been garaged. So despite the look of it, we did pick it up from inside of their garage, so it's always been in there. Wing mirror has a bit of damage. The rest of the passenger side's not too bad. It's got these door protectors which don't look like they've cut. Oh, there we go. Flicking off of my hand, the plastic. That's it, I've improved that. Not too bad. It's a little bit faded, but actually the panels all, well, they match up mostly. So I think a really good machine polish would get a lot of this looking much better. Again, some poor touch-ins, but again, there's a little mark there, but actually the vast majority of this will polish out. That just wants... You wouldn't do anything with that really. Scuff on the bumper corner. You might blow in this little section here, potentially. It's going to be a very, very low price point car. Alloy wheel, really good condition. Round to the back. Now this is when the touch-ins get even worse. There is a small crack at the top of the bumper here, so bumper is going to want some attention. Again, this has all been touched in not very well at all. Parking sensors are a totally different colour. We fitted these last year and they wanted them red, but they didn't want them absolutely colour coded, so we've sort of made it up as we've gone along. Once a set of number plates on it, they're not lovely. Round to the offside, I think that corner's a different colour, very slightly. It might just be the light. Offside rear wheel is good. Passenger side wants a touch in on the door edge, and there's a couple of very small dings, but other than that the driver's side's pretty okay. Again, decent wheel, and then again, really I don't know. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know what's gone on with this paint. And there is a dent there as well. So I think you're painting. It depends if you're going whole hog to retail this, or if you're going to use it for just knocking about, really. Again, another £500 added to the value of this car. If you've seen my other videos, anything with an English Heritage badge automatically makes the car worth an awful lot more. We haven't got a selection of the stickers in stock that we just add to the cars just to make them worth a bit more. But yes, overall. Oh, well, that's another thing. This mirror, it's had a bit of an altercation, and obviously it's a completely different colour to the one on the other side. So maybe a couple of mirrors, a couple of bumper corners, and a few bits and bobs. I would think if you allowed £500 to do some paint and a couple of other bits. Now, in terms of the inside, much better. Much better. It's got its carpet mats. Obviously we haven't touched it, we literally picked it up 20 minutes ago. Seats in really good shape, so apart from a valet, you're not going to be doing anything, hardly any wear to the bolsters. All in good condition. That just flips up a little bit. Oh, I did have it closed. Oh no. Yeah, but you can see where there's been some tape on that, and there's a bit of wear on the top of the gear sticks, which they always do on these. Rest of it, steering wheel's nice and clean and tidy. It does have 2 keys. Into the back you get a free umbrella. That's dirty. That obviously wants sorting out, but all the headrests are present. Door cards are actually in good shape. It's got its aerial. It's got a fire extinguisher. I do hope you won't be needing that. Parcel shelf at the top, split folding seats, and the spare wheel. So that's about the size of it. Now, as the title suggests, the car came into us for less than £1,000, so it is not an expensive car. You've got all your handbooks, twin layered glove box. Again, I get excited by those. So it's going to be going off to one of our traders, and you know, it's a perfect Facebook car. Service history's excellent, really good service history. Loads at Toyota and then by ourselves, so I think it's probably 10 stamps. We put a clutch in the car last year as well, or the year before, and it's done 58,000 miles. It's a 1.4 petrol with a timing chain engine. It's going to be reliable, isn't it? So that is the outside and the inside. You will next join me on our road test. Right, welcome to the inside of the Auris. Let's rock and roll. Now, first thing to notice, the engine's running and it sounds absolutely sweet. Really, really quiet. I'd sort of forgotten it was switched on there. Yeah, nice and quiet. The other thing I must point out is the handbrake is ridiculous. It is in such a strange, it's sloped like this. So rather when they're like that and you can just pull them up and down, this has got, it's really awkward. It's like, it's facing like that. So you have to sort of, like you're trying to pull a pint or something. Horrible. I don't like that. Let's go. So, we'll do the same route that we always do. It's like the Top Gear test track. You know what you're gonna see. So yes, it has done 59. Hold on, I'm sat a little bit close. It's done 59,979 miles. 1.4 petrol, timing chain engine. As with all the vast majority of the Toyotas and Japanese cars, so no timing belt to worry about replacing, which is always good news. It's got 97 brake horsepower. I've actually done my homework for these videos, you know. This is not just thrown together. 97 brake horsepower. For a 1.4, that's not bad, is it? Decent power output. Whether it goes as it should do, we will find out in a second. Here's the junction of peril. And we live to fight another day. Clutch feels good, obviously. Engine sounds great. National speed limit. Let's see how it pulls. Bang average, as you'd expect, really. But nice and smooth. Engine sounds fine. This is a car that they didn't sell huge amounts of these when they were new, and we've actually found, so we used to sell quite a few of these. We've always really liked Japanese cars for obvious reasons. In terms of reliability, they're hard to beat, and obviously we do our own warranties here at Bowen's, so you know, we cover them ourselves, so we always try and buy cars that are reliable, and something like this is reliability personified, really. But they were boring, and they were a bit they were a bit of a meh. They were a bit of a meh car, because they're not particularly exciting to look at. They're not good looking. They're not offensively ugly. Running costs, just an average car, and that, I feel a bit bad saying that, because all cars should have their own personality and something about them. I'm not sure this does, that I can, apart from the twin layer club box. We'll try the fans. All present and correct. As you'd imagine in a car like this, I'm sure everything will work, because they always do. Dual carriageway time. Let's see if we can get to 70. That's 40. This is slow. 50. 60. It's got those little arrows in the middle of the dash to tell you when to change up, but it's if I change up when it tells me to change up, we will never make 70. This is a slow car. That's 70 miles an hour. And we are doing 3,500 revs in fifth, and it's only got 5 gears. So we are, if you were on a long motorway trip in this, doing 3,500 revs for 3 hours, fuel consumption's going to be poor. And I think that was a little bit of the problem with these. It's a 1.4, so in theory it's a small engine. The performance it's quite sluggish. Probably the slowest car we've driven out of the budget. This is the 4th one now, isn't it? Yeah, so if you're on a long 3-hour journey, I think being at 3,500 revs would be rather annoying. I think you'd get a bit fed up with that. And obviously it does not help the fuel consumption one bit, so you're probably going to be doing 35 mpg maybe, I would suggest. Which isn't fantastic for a car of this nature, is it? That's supposed to be sort of a small mid-sized family hatchback. I mean, I guess it's a Golf size, Focus size, although the boot's probably a little bit smaller, Astra size. It'll be the most reliable out of all of them, without any doubt, but the reason we struggled with these, and we didn't struggle with them in terms of reliability, we would always try and buy these, and they always fetch quite a lot of money, and I think that was part of it. So these were sort of the same money as a Focus, and if you guys that are watching are in the trade, you'll know that how much a 2008 to 2010 facelift, but of the older shape Focus used to sell for. They would just fetch mind-blowing money for years and years and years, and these would fetch very similar money, but you'd have a Focus in stock for a week and you'd have this in stock for 2 months. They were really hard sellers, and there's no particular reason for it. because they drive fine. This one drives fine. They all drive fine. Everything works. Everything's simple. It's got air conditioning. It's got a CD player. It's got electric windows, electric mirrors, a horrible handbrake, and some aftermarket parking sensors in the wrong colour. But they were just not fancied amongst the general public. But they were still fancied in the trade, and that was strange. I think because of their reliability, like I say, you're not going to have, I'd still quite happily sell this. If the bodywork was much better, if it was like that Roomster, I'd quite happily sell this, and I don't think I'd worry that it would come back in the next 6 months. But they were just dull. And I don't want to make dull videos. And I do think that all cars in the budget section deserve their own video, because there's not going to be many of these left in a year or 2 years' time. They'll be a thing of the past, distant memory, banished into the motor trade history books. So, if a video's on YouTube about it, I'm sure there's not many Toyota Auris reviews on YouTube. There is now. Road tax, £265 a year. So that is not going to be the sort of thing that, oh dear, what's going on here? Got people stopping in the middle of the roundabout, it's not good. Yeah, 265 quid a year to tax now, as of the 1st of April, so that's not particularly cheap. It's not particularly economical. It's Japanese, so it's not in a particularly low insurance group. So when you put all those together, there's no wonder they used to hang around a little bit. So overall, not bad, although I feel like I've been quite harsh. On the positive side, there's plenty of space, it's very quiet, there's no squeaks, no rattles, not from the interior, not from the suspension. It drives absolutely fine. It's had a clutch, the service history is excellent, less than 58,000 miles. This would do 150, 200,000 miles, no problem whatsoever. Exceptionally reliable. Gear stick's in a nice place, a little bit upwards, it's only just here, so quite easy to change gear. Nice big dials, easy to use, easy to drive, comfortable seats. Yeah, and I don't know what this is going to retail at, if you were going to retail it properly. That's the thing, this is probably, even though it's an 08, but with 58,000 miles, if the paperwork was bang on, this is probably still 3,495, genuinely. It'd be a great car for, although the tax is a little bit expensive, but it'd be a good car for, takeaway drivers, Deliveroo. Shout out Deliveroo if you want to give me some free takeaways for giving you a promotion. Come and talk to me. But yes, I would say, what would I give it a score out of 10? Well, it's middle of the road, isn't it? So 5. But I feel like I don't like being harsh. I like to see the positives in every car. But it's just not something I can get excited about. Not something I'm going to jump up and down and recommend to you all to go out and buy. However, this will be a good car for years and years to come. And if you're not worried about the paintwork, and you're not worried about paying a little bit of tax, like I say, on all these cheaper cars, there's going to be some downsides. But yeah, not too bad at all. So, we've made it back to Bowen's. Summary: good value, decent spec, exceptionally reliable, excellent service history. That's about it. That's about it. Let me know your thoughts. You have been excellent so far in all the comments in letting me know what you think of these cars, and I'll be interested to know your thoughts on this one. Whether you think it's good value, whether you think this will do a job for somebody, and we shall leave it there. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.